everybody. Thank you all for joining today. How are my lovely lichens? Hello, Cherry, or as you hola. I hope you are doing well. It is time for art! Because as many of you guys know, if you've been around my channel for a little while, you know that I like to draw my werewolf form, Werekara, as I have dubbed her over these years, every year for Halloween. It is my Halloween tradition. So let me actually, speaking of Halloween tradition, let me showcase to you guys some of the pieces we have done over the years. I haven't been drawing her forever. Surprisingly, despite Nakara being what, like, having been around for like 13 years at this point, I haven't always drawn Werekara a lot. I only just kind of started recently getting into drawing Werekara. So I will start with the first one. So far, there's only been 3 years of Werekara Halloweens. So with the first one here, this was my first version, Werekara 2021 here. I had to do the classic, of course, the classic werewolf in the flannel shirt. You know, that's just the way to do it. You know, so I was like, this was my first attempt at it. Then we have Werekara 23. Grab her, Werekara 23. I like this one. I was trying to play with the perspective a little more. This one was a little flatter, you know, just the forest in the background. But this one, I really wanted to, like, kind of have her, like, almost on, like, a hill with the moon directly behind her. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last one, last year's, I decided to go in a very different direction. Because I was like, yeah, man, you know, these last 2 years, everything I've done has been, like, generic, you know, blue and green forest. But what if we mix it up a little bit? What if we made a blood moon? So I decided to put her in like a deep red moon that year. So it's been pretty interesting seeing how, like, my my depictions of, like, anatomy over the years have changed. Well, maybe not so much change, but like how I'm understanding and how my drawing techniques are coming out. Trying to push the light and the stuff to look a little more interesting. So yeah, this year we're trying to do something different. Again, once again, we are doing a different thing. Whereas all the other years I've had Nakara bipedal, you know, just standing on her twos, you know, doing some sort of howling or snarling form. This time, I decided, let's put her on all fours. Let's have her sprinting, you know, like a big old monster trying to come and get ya. So that's what we're doing this year. We're doing Nakara, sprinting at you, coming to bite you, coming to get you. So yeah, without too much more fanfare here, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I've got most of the sketch done already. I had spent so long on this this arm over here. It took me forever to try and get that arm just right because I don't know, something about it was like the image wasn't reading super well to me. I mean, honestly, I could probably, if I were to do this, right, like draw a big C curve, right? I honestly could probably just take this arm and whoop, I grabbed the fingers of the other arm and, like, not scale, no. Rotate. And, like, do that. Put the fingers about here. Less. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's turn that off. Clean up the sketch here. A lot of it has just been trying to play around with, like, how do I want her arm pose? Because, like, I want her to feel like she's coming after you, you know? I don't want her to feel lifeless. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want her to feel in motion, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Now comes the hardest part, arguably, of this whole process. Is trying to get her nose just right. Because, like, with Werekara 2023 here, I kind of have, like, a similar angle. Well, maybe not similar angle. None of the other werewolf forms I have, like, have her really looking down like this, you know? So this is going to be an interesting angle because I still, even after all these years, I still haven't quite figured out how I like to do the top of the nose. Like, if I do it more realistically, like wolves should be, because if this is the like the edge of the nose here from this angle, right? Because this is basically the angle I have her facing, then the top of the nose has to come here. And it depends, like, a lot of wolves I see, like, they technically have this divot here, but I don't really like that. So I think I'm just gonna kind of do this. And it's a round edge. I don't know. I want to make her nose pop out a little bit more. I like to really make it so the schnoz pops out differently from her lips, so you notice it. The hardest part too, of course, is also keeping with the angle of her normal nose. Well, hold on. Let me draw her nose normally before I start drawing it snarling, because if I draw it snarling now, I'm gonna fall off. Okay. So now draw her nose out and about like so. It's a little shaped. Lip. Now this is the hard part where I've been trying to draw her like, you know, her normal rah 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 rah. And like, because of the angle she's at, it's hard to truly get that snarl that I really want her to have. So I'm gonna have to like push the shape some. Cause like in the other image that I have, like, I don't know, cause like a realistic wolf snarl versus like a more cartoonified wolf snarl is, I don't know, it's hard. Cause like wolves really almost like, I don't know, they kind of look like they're doing like an awoo when they snarl, right? They don't, you know, they don't do what Nakara is doing. They almost smile in some cases. Like this guy kind of looks like he's got a weird smile, you know. Like this one, I don't know, he's just kind of, but it's not like the roar that I want. Like I want like the roar, you know what I mean? Like from this angle it looks pretty good. But from a side it mostly just looks like like more like, you know, kind of more like this in a way. I think is what I really need, but I really want to emphasize like the showing of the toothies here. It's my favorite thing about making like monster growls is like I want you to see the teethies. I want you to see the gums, you know, so that she's got them chompers. So I gotta try and like strike a delicate balance between like looking realistic but also like feeling good. You know what I mean? Because the art not only has to look good, but it has to feel good. And I mean, honestly, like a big part of art, like looking good, is just the feel. Like if the art feels good, then it usually looks good. All about that flow, baby. So like this is not a bad snarl to start with. I'll keep it like this. And then I'm trying to think of like, because if her eyes are like this, I mean, this is honestly pretty solid. Pretty solid, my dude. And that's about drawing the teeth, because the teeth are like, people forget that like wolf teeth are at weird angles. Like they're not straight up and down. They flare out to the sides. Especially the bottom ones. Like the top ones it's not as bad, but the bottom teeth especially have a sort of flare out to them. They kind of stick out sideways a little more than you would expect. So in some cases they can look shorter than you'd think they would. But it's just all about that how they look, you know. then we'll get Schnurl. Hello and welcome to Nakara just makes dumbass wolf noises for 3 hours. Alright. And then we need to get her thangy wankies. Hello, Joe. Welcome in. So I also I try to make her look as realistic as I can get, but also, I want her to feel, I keep saying I want her to feel good, so sometimes the teeth placement isn't always what would technically be real on a werewolf or on a wolf per se. Why is this? There we go. That's better. That's better. I want it to be a little lower. I don't know if I really like this. I like where the snoot is. I feel like I also should just get rid of that lip. I don't really curl their lips per se, they kind of. I might have to just come back to it at some point too, not necessarily get it all done right now, at least the teeth part. Come back to it, because might drive myself nuts if I try to focus too hard on the teeth. Just notice maybe it's my pen is too large too. Something about it just looks, the quality looks kind of ick. Yeah, okay, we'll come back to the fangs and such. I think the bottom fangs look okay. It's the top ones that I'm having a rough time with right now. What is, I don't know, something just feels off with my pen. Am I using the right pen? Yeah, I'm using my Kyle's pencil hard brush. Okay. Let's focus on the rest of her then. Let's get her other facial features going, like her jawline. Now, because she's in motion, hey, 32, taking notes as usual, I see. Now, because she's in motion, I have to remember how her fur is going to be flowing. I mean, thankfully, her cheek fur, it doesn't usually matter too much because of the way I designed her face anyway. I think, hold on. I'm kind of also wondering if, maybe it's, part of it is just the way I have her face drawn. Why it's not looking right. I need more snarl. I need RRR. I need bigger awoo. It's trying to I don't know, this is a hard angle to understand because I don't normally draw wolves from the top down. Ah, my stinky. Well, let me go back to non-angry wolves for a second. Let me take a look at a non-angry wolf. And I want normal. Thank you. Yeah. Alright. I know what they look like from the front, but from the top is still, it eludes me. I don't know what it is. Because, it really shouldn't be that hard. So I think part of what is going on is, I just don't have the angle of her nose right. I'm not sure, honestly. curse my eye for like knowing what's wrong, but also like not knowing what's wrong. That makes sense. I sound crazy. I am crazy. I think what's confusing me right now is like I have a decent perspective here, but it's not good enough. Like I know what angle the nose is supposed to be facing, but like the eyes and stuff are what's throwing me off. Yeah, let me try that. Well, that would explain it then. That's why it's looking wrong, is my perspectives are all wrong here. All right, hang on. The face is fine. The cheek fluff is fine where it is, but the nose is where I'm finding it's wrong, and that would explain why, is because I am not following the angles I have set for myself. Sometimes that's all it is just the angles are wrong. I fucked up my angles. So really, based on what I have just drawn here, this eye should be higher up than the other one. And that would make her nose like right here. But I don't like that one as much. Something about it just doesn't look as appealing. I don't know. Does that make... like, I like this one better. I think if I just move this eye down more... yeah, it's pretty appealing. It's pretty appealing. It's going good, Pats. I'm just trying to, you know, finesse where Kara's face into where it needs to be. I think part of it too is also her eye is just too dang close. Art! Yo, Tony! Tony, actually, while you're here, I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you the progress. As before I get too delve too deep into this here. Hold on. Everybody, let me show you this commission I'm working on for Tony. It's getting very close to the end. I'm just mostly pushing colors and getting the final details on Tony done right now. I've been really fucking around with that fire in the background. That fire is like, the color is fine. The color is fine, but I don't want it to be too bright that we're drawn away from Tony. I want the focus of the piece to be on Tony. So I've saved him for last to try to get as much detail on him as possible. Like I'll have to work on getting his final details of his Archmage robes. I know there's little biddies I'm missing, but like the fire is killing me because like it looks better than it was. It's better than it was before, but I think I want to make the interior here more red, like a deeper red. Because I was I'm sure you've probably at least seen or maybe even played some ESO. So you would probably know what I'm talking about here, but like I was trying to steal some inspiration here from this ESO loading screen, because I've seen this all the time when I play ESO. Of like these you know, the Khajiit and some elves and people and stuff all gathered around this fireplace. And like I like this color, but also like it's too bright for what I'm going for. Honestly, this is a really bright image for the light source. More of a warm lighting around the interior. Yeah. Because, like, I wanted to contrast of, like, the moonlight coming in from the outside back here. Because, like, this would be the window to the outside, of course. Hence the moonbeams. Ooh. But I want this, you know, because assuming he's looking at this at night, you know, reasonably, you would have a fire going. You want it to be cozy in there. Like a nice, warm, roaring fire, but also, like, maybe I should just make the background a little warmer over here. Maybe that's it. I gotta think about it. or tone down like his shadow on his back. Maybe like get it like a little lower. Oh, whoa, why is that? That's not 50. Because like the moonlight shouldn't be too harsh. I want it to show that he's got moonlight on him, but not like he's bathing in the moonlight, you know? Like the coming in here from the window. But like this, I think based on what I've seen of like real fires of like what I've been looking for, maybe not that dark. But like, you know, I should make the interior of the fireplace itself a little more like put it down here. Don't get too crazy. Like a little deeper, maybe blacker than this one. Something like that, you know. The color doesn't look right, but it's just because I'm dicking around here. Maybe letting the fire. Yes, that's a great. Yes, thank you, Tony. You see the vision. And then of course I have to actually get the glow of the I as you can see I have started with the glow of the emerald here from the various sources on here. I really like my favorite part so far has been adding like the little bit of glow to his pupils to show he's like really taking it in. I might even add it like a little more brightness towards the center depending on how bright I make this emerald. Because I might even just tone up the greenness. It depends once again when I finally get to the emerald glow. Because like some of it is it's hard to determine like where the glow needs to be. It's got to be above all the line art, of course, but like the type of glow it is, because like if we just pop some green down right now just to go silly goofy, like if we do like a color dodge versus like a vivid light, depends. Linear versus color dodge. The color dodge will allow a little more of the line art to be seen. Or we could divide it, make it purple. The pupil glow is one of my favorite parts of a commission I got from an actual Disney animator. Yes, the pupil glow is so important to really show you they're taking it in. Ooh. I don't want it to be soft, but like I'm thinking, color dodge is what I usually go with, and I'll just have to tone it down. So like, if we were to do it right now, or not even tone it down, just like Gaussian blur some of the edges. I blur a lot of the edges. I like blurring to make it a little more shimmer. That's a little better. But I would like to move it over here. Yeah. Glow! Ooh, he glow! Maybe even tone it down a little bit more so we can see that reflectiveness on his arm. Look at that! Look at that glow! Ooh! Alright. Enough. I will work on this more. But these are my ideas. This is the direction it's going. I hope you are pleased with this. Back to menacing werewolf coming to bite you. Now, how tiny do I want to make her eyes? Typically, I make her eyes really tiny. Like casting the dang transmute spell. Awaa. Awoo. I feel like her nose. I need bigger nose. I'm a fan, if you've seen my other arts of Werkara. I'm a big fan of big schnoz. Like, look at this honker of a nose she has. Look at this. It's just bigger than her eye. It's bigger than her fucking eye. This one, big schnoz. Like the same, maybe a little smaller. I toned down the schnoz in the first one. But like big schnozzes. I want schnozzes that are almost as big as her eyeballs. I'd love a piece of art like that. I mean, hey man, if you ever want commissions, ha ha ha. I might honestly make the bump a little. Yeah, we'll round it. We'll make it a little less pointy, but yeah, more schnoz, baby, more schnoz. Big old werewolf schnoot. Well, hold on. I think I don't like the the direction her eye is looking at. I want it to be like she's looking forward, like she gonna get you. That's derpy as hell. I mean, technically, if we're looking at her eye like this, it should be like or like this. Now, based on the angle, though, you might not see her pupil. That's the problem. But what if eyelashes? I love how, like, the classic way of making sure you know something is female, just add eyelash. I mean, it's either that or, like, you also add the lipstick to it. Guys, can you imagine? Hold on, we need to make sure you know she's clearly a female. Hold on. There you go. Give her her lipstick. Mwah. Kissable lips. Heard of putting lipstick on a pig. Well, how about putting lipstick on a werewolf? Thank you. I'm a comedic genius, I know. Don't laugh too hard. Alright, let me get some art tips going here for my drawing my arms extending forward, because this is a weird angle. Here, come dive into my Pinterest with me. Come dive. By the way, if anybody ever wants this, I believe I have a link in my Discord. If not, I am always down to give people my art tips Pinterest, because I enjoy helping. Good artists don't gatekeep. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Shorthand for drawing the triceps. It's kind of like a heart, honestly. So, the heart is where the collarbone would be, about where it starts. So let's see. So if this were her collarbone, right? So let's see. Like it's kind of crazy how the trapezius is basically just a heart. It's got to go down her arm, right? So like if this is, well, I think maybe honestly it should probably go more like this. Right? Or if we're, getting the muscle in, because she's got to be reaching forward. But that means I'm also going to have to draw like her shoulder blades and stuff, because like your back kind of like hulks out when you reach forward. Where's the muscle groups of the back? Hold on. Here we go. There's my back muscle groups, because yeah, you've got like this whole red part here. I forget the names. I'm sorry. I used to know the names for anatomy purposes. I do not anymore. I am unfortunately a very lazy lady. Okay, so like if that were the case, like just based on like some of these images I'm seeing here, like this one here has like was that your deltoid? No, it's not your delts, is it? It's not this. Is trapezius maybe trapezius? But like kind of goes to your back and up the back of your neck here. So like if this is her neck, like right around here, or less, give or take. Because, like, my werewolves, I mean, basically, other than maybe, like, the chest area, because the chest area, I take a lot of my inspiration from the Zootopia muscle groups, which actually I also have right here. I have a separate one for animals and anthros or furries, whatever you wish to call them. Where's my favorite, my Zootopia, my beloved muscle groups? Because I love that Zootopia. My favorite part about Zootopia is the realism of which they drew the animals, of like allowing them to walk bipedally but still shift into that feral form. I'll think about it if I ever need a full scene like that. I'll let you know. Cool, yeah. Like this one here, so. Because like they don't have a collarbone per se like we do. They have a point here. They have this delt pec formation. Is really what I should be drawing Nakar as if I want her to be more realistic. But I like pectorals. Like, technically speaking, like, looking at the fox here, these would be the equivalent of the human pecs, more or less. and like the shoulders would really connect to like under the neck. But that's not what I want. I want human, basically with like wolf legs and head. A 12 fan? 12 what? I like Forever 12 or Zootopia scenes with Nick and Wild keep driving, my heart keeps melting. Right? I keep seeing them and I'm like, oh my god. I'm interested. Pet Pivs 12? No, I'm not familiar with that. Don't know if I said that right. But yeah, I keep seeing the Zootopia, the Zootopia trailers, and I am so ready. I am so ready for it. Get her bicep, and then her other portion of her bicep, and then the forearm. It's gonna have like a weird twisting to it. I'm having her looking forward like this. I'm not gonna draw too muscly. Like, she's muscular, but like I don't want her like a Bara, you know what I mean? Oh, it's actually Pet Peeves, but they just put a Y. Oh no, I've never heard of Pet Peeves. I am not familiar with that. Is it something in my art style that might make it look like Pet Peeves, or? I know some people will be like, wow, like, you know, come to other artists' art and be like, wow, that is so insert media here coded, or like that looks like it, or like, were you perchance by like a insert, you know, franchise fan here? My avatar. Really? Hold on. You've got me curious now. What is this? I've never heard when I Google it, I can't find anything. Or maybe I spelled it wrong. Maybe it's gotta be all. Oh. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There it goes. Okay, let me see. See, I found a YouTube. Let me see. No, I don't think I've seen their stuff. Huh. Are they an animator as well? Is that what I'm understanding, or do they just do the thumbnail? Trying to think of like if they make animation memes, if that was something I might have seen way back in the day. Perhaps. I do really like your art. Thank you. I appreciate it. And check out their Persona project. Like Persona, like the video game? I've never really liked Persona. Or, well, maybe I shouldn't say I never really liked it. I've never really seen anything Persona. Persona's never really been on my radar of games. Ah! OBS! OBS, where'd you go? Ah! What the fuck? My computer is having a mutiny! Oh, hold on. Hold on, guys. I don't know if you can hear me. My OBS is having a freak out. Stop freaking out. Go back. Back, I say. Her OCs. Oh. Let me see. I have live stream rules and regulations. Oh, Persona project. I see here. See. I'll mute it for now. I just want to take a peek because yeah, I don't know this person. Do they have a lot of OCs? I was just trying to see if like they had like an OC that was like colored like mine or something. Don't, because this isn't what I was gonna say. If you're looking at my avatar, like the one that I'm currently using, this isn't what I normally look like. I just chose not to use my my normal one since it's usually taxing on my PC when I'm drawing. Or well, I can't puppet it as well when I'm drawing, but let me hold on. Hold on. Not current game. Where's my scene? Open up! Open up! Okay, well it's the thinking, hold on. While it's thinking, I will continue drawing her face. But art is something I'm really interested in. As in like just like to look at, or like is it something you want to do? I mean, if you want to do it, you should totally do it. Alright, hold on. VTube Studio is opening up. Once it's open, I will showcase my real model. Alright, she's live. Studio. Let me turn the PNG tuber off for a second here. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait. Is my camera not working? No, camera! Well, if my puppeting doesn't work, this is what I normally look like. I just like to use the chibi when I do art so I don't have to worry about looking away as much since my camera doesn't move very easily. Alright. Back to the normal, well, not the normal one. Back to the other one. Well, dang. I was hoping to puppet her around for a second, but my camera, my webcam is just having a moment, I guess. Hold on. Let me try to jumpstart it. Sometimes if I jumpstart it with a Discord, it works. Either that or maybe, I hope my camera's not going bust. I mean, granted, this camera is very old. It's almost, what, like, almost 6 years old at this point. It's got a fatal error. Does not seem to want to work. Up! I kickstarted her! Let's go! Alright, hold on, one more time. Let me... Nah, you know what? No, I want to focus on the werewolf. Focus on the actual werewolf at hand, not the VTubing one. But perhaps at the end of the stream, I will pull her back out. Alright. Gotta make the flow of her fur coming off her head. I really want to like arch her back like a lot up here because it'll help to sell the fact that she's like on the move. Trying to squish her. Like drawing werewolves from this angle, especially like where I have no hair. Nakara doesn't have like feminine looking hair. Well, I draw a bit, but it's not something I'm great at, so like enjoying other people's art. That's totally fair. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. A little for her ear. Now, I feel like I've drawn her from this angle before somewhat. Wait a minute, I know exactly where I drew her like that. It's my TikTok. Hold on. It's my watch your tone. Yes. I want to make sure this tab is muted. This is a perfect angle. Okay, excellent. Excellent. No notes. We have found the solution. I'm gonna scoot her eye over here a little bit. Well, the other part is like I just need to make this eye a little lower. I think it's not so much that, it's that, yes, I like putting the scrunch like so. There we go. For those black dog lips. She's menacing and vicious. I think part of also what might be is just if I just color this in with black. That makes it look, honestly, that makes it look so much better already. Sometimes it's just simply a lack of a specific color in a certain spot. It's all it takes. And then if I do that, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now it's looking more like what I want it to look like. Yeah. I like that better. I feel like her bicep needs to be bigger though. More bicep. Oops, all bicep. What if I just made her oops all bicep? Thoughts? Opinions? Do we have any opinion about this? I give her the big back mane too. I like the big back mane on werewolves. It's my favorite part. Honestly, it probably could go down even further. I have her. I need to do like a ref sheet too for her werewolf form one of these days. I've never done a proper ref sheet for her werewolf form, but like one thing I added for her is like she has a big old back mane that goes all the way down to about her mid back, about the same length as her hair, her normal hair actually. It's just the only difference is between her normal hair and her wolf mane is just her wolf mane is, you know, more ragged, more wild. As wolf manes tend to be. And then knee out. That is like just such a weird. I'm gonna have to work on her body a little bit because like the hardest part right now is just her angle is like super sharp. You know what I mean? The angle at which she is pouncing is like really fucking sharp. So based on what I know of like drawing fingers and such, I need to spread her fingies out. Nah, those are bad fingers. Bad. Bad fingers. I might have to like find an image of like somebody doing like spooky, scary, like wolf claw fingers and like steal that. Because like these arms, the arms themselves are fine. The arms are solid. It's her. And the toes, I think, are did pretty solid as well. I just realized, I'm like, why does this look weird? And it's because I changed my pen size. I didn't even realize it. It looks more floofy and like not the way I want kind of floofy. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me go find the reference for her. So, because like, I don't think I have any reference for her like pouncing. I might well, maybe I do. I have some good references on both hands, actually. You know, more monstrous looking hands. But I might have something in my actual references folder. I have tons of like references and stuff. Because like realistically, her rib cage should be like right here, right? That's the case. That would be like stomach and her torso like that. Now, let me see. Have I can't remember if I've previously drawn like the werewolf form with rib cage or without rib cage. Let's find out. Flannel one, you're not gonna see it because she's got. The Recaro, like the latest one, I did, but I don't know if I want to do that for this angle. I'll still like draw some fold for this angle, but like I don't want that to be normal. That makes any sense. The words I just spoke are making any sense. It's gotta have her colors. It's kind of what I want. The thumb I think is okay. Actually, I might draw the thumb out a little more. Also, like, draw it down a little bit. Hands are always the toughest part of this process. Pain. Because right now everything else is pretty solid. It's just the hands. And like I know the angle I'm going for, but that doesn't help if I can't draw the hands, you know? that. Probably won't include this either. Just enough to include options in. Okay, let me look up some hand references here, because clearly I'm not able to draw the spook hands the way I want them. It's like, oh, dang it, I don't have my phone and I don't want to get up to go get it. So I was like, I'll just take a picture of my hand. But that's not gonna work. Okay. Because what I really need is I need like, it's kind of like an outstretched hand, but more spooky, you know? Like, I don't think I have any references specifically like what I need. No. Been opening images in new tab so I can steal them and reference. Resting lightly, pushing hard, blah blah blah. It's like I just need to figure out like the other tough part is like she has, you know, she has monster hands, so like the fingers aren't supposed to be proportioned the same as in like I want her to have like bigger fingertips. Oh, monster hand. Oh, my head. Speaking of hands, my hand is so cold. Ah. Hold on. Maybe if I try a different approach. I'm gonna try a different approach to this. If the hands are pointing down like so, right? Okay. Now she's stretching her finger out like so. The only difference is like this one needs to be a little bit longer otherwise, and like this pinky smidge small. Like it's better, but it's not what I want, you know? Oh, freaking monster hands. Hands, it just hands in general, dude. I love and I hate hands, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? The other thing too is just like sometimes even if I am doing the hands like realistically, they don't always look right, you know? Like speaking of like hands that just don't feel realistic is like drawing a hand spread out. Like typically speaking, when you if you spread your hand out dramatically, your pinky is almost flat compared to your hand, like perpendicular, versus your index, which is almost always parallel. But it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Because I want her hands to be dramatic, you know, like she's coming to get you. She's gonna get you. And I don't know if it's just like maybe I need this. So I want it to be like, you know, hands outstretched like she's reaching, but also at the same time like she's getting ready to land, you know? 'Cause she is like mid-air right now, so she needs to be able to get ready to land. Let me try, maybe I looked up. Because like I see like I saw like a really good reference of a hand reaching out from the side, which is not what I want. I think what I'm missing is I need more of a C curve. Like just to get the basic shape of the hand curve, because like her hands are supposed to be like super wide out or almost like an L actually is probably more apt. Okay, hold on. I think I have the pose I need. Nobody talk to me. Don't mind me. Just ow, I'm hurting my hand. As I dramatically stretch out my hand to try to like create the angle that I'm doing. See, that's closer. Now the only problem is I need to be able to see like other angle. I might have cracked the code, gamers. I think we got it. I'll just have to like dramatify them a little more, okay? Like make them a little more spooky. Also, like her hand should really be maybe even a little bigger. I typically honestly make her hands about as big as her face, which is huge, but I like huge hands. It's part of what makes her so fun to draw. She's so fucking huge. A big girl. Bigger hand. Well, maybe not bigger hand that way, but like I'm gonna make her hand wider for sure. Bigger hand, bigger hand. Now that I've got the look I'm going for, TM. Make those chonkers like extra chonkin. And of course, give her the dramatic like finger joints. I'm a huge fan of dramatic finger joints. Claws. Give her her big honkin' index. I actually might be able to put her thumb like right here too. Yeah, I mean, realistically, yes, that's where her thumb would be, but I'm almost like kind of thinking like it should really be like out here. Just for the drama. TM. Because that's about where your thumb is going to be, realistically. Same thing with these fingers, given the big old chunk. Dramatify them with the extra spooky again fingers. As what I'm gonna call them from now on, extra spooky crinkle fingers. Yeah, baby. Look at that. That's a werewolf right there. More chonk. More big gore arm. Arm so thick. Yes, baby. I want her to have the thickest fucking arms. I love thick arms. Give me them big old biceps, girl. Yes. Now those are fucking hands. Hands, baby. Yeehaw. Make her hand big gore. Big gore hand. Now that's the werewolf we need right there. I might just like change her face, her snoot up a little bit. Okay, now I just need to get her big ol' teefies. Now let me get a wolf skull here. Okay, so based on this, what I'm seeing here, we will need obviously the gums over here, but we need like some teeths. Actually, I think I want to change the angle of this one. I want that. Change her tongue placement so it's no overlap. The last thing I want is to fix up her bottom teeth. She has bottom teethies. And then I think just based on the angle, you'll see her upper teethies, so it'll be fine. All right, I think that's a solid werewolf right there. I think that's a. Let's take this line off. Oh, that's a solid werewolf right there. I might change up the torso here. No. Keep the pudge. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Connect her leg down like. Okay. I think now we are officially ready for the line art phase. Let's get it. Let's get to it. Oh my god, it's been 2 hours already. Ah! Why does time go so fast? Colors. Colors, tell me why. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me. I never wanna hear you sing. I want it that way. Number 5. Pulling the strings. I am the one who pulls the strings. Clock strikes 12. Midnight arrives. Now let's turn the perspective off. I want to just focus on the girl, TM. God, isn't this such a feminine lady, guys? What do you think? How on a scale of lady to princess, how feminine do you think she is? Serious answers only. Get her teeth, actually. Teeth first. Come here, you. All right, now she'll do the reversed. Werewolf. I love werewolves. No, actually. Here's the thing: is like that's her normal state. Then she snarl. It's a bad snarl, honestly. Unlock it so I don't accidentally draw on top of it. I use my scientific noises. Shoo. Choo. Ah. Skr. Skier. Man, speaking of werewolves like this, I cannot wait for you guys to see this 3D model I'm working on. I've pretty much gotten to the end of the sculpting phase, so now I think it's mostly just onto the fixing up the topology phase. And yeah. I gotta say, not to toot my own horn, but I think it's looking pretty solid. And I hope at some point, like, once I've had her, the model for myself for a little while and gotten it pretty optimized and stuff, maybe to release it as like an avatar for people to be able to use. I think that would be pretty sick. So if people want to have like a more, spooky werewolf to use, they can use mine. Because I eventually want to customize or like make a version of it. Maybe not exactly the one I'm going to be using, but I do want to make a version of it that can be more customizable. So you can like change like the fur shape and the body size and all that good stuff. But that's probably not going to be for quite a while. Like I'm still working on trying to get my first one good. So once the first one is solid, then I can move on to like making others. Why does it feel like my eraser was erasing pretty shittily? I don't know. Weird. Okay. Yep. I saw that. Don't think I didn't see that. Locking in, boys. Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm focusing, trying to get this line. Thank you. Trying to get this line art looking solid. Is it my flow? Yeah, it's my flow. I was like, why is this not erasing the right with the that's more like it. It's the it's my flare. It's kind of funny how like now that I think about it, like how over time Nakara's facial shape has really evolved to like have this distinctive I don't know what you want to call it, like the fur shape around her, her cheek fluff has now evolved into this like very distinctive shape where it never used to be like this. Because Nakara used to just have like generic like wolf fluff. From what I remember of like when I was originally first drawing her, which was ages ago, mind you. But then I kind of like I think like at some point like towards the end of high school, like into college, I kind of like locked in and I was like, yeah, this is her facial shape. I don't know. Hold on. Hang on a second. I'm gonna something really quick. Cannot see. I gotta take a look at my old art. The really old days. Before I was even known as Nakara. That's the real deep lore right there. Cannot, or at least you shouldn't be able to find it anymore. Uh oh man, is storage gone? I don't use it anymore, but you. Try this. Okay, I found it. Yeah, I'm looking back at like some older art I drew of her wolf form, and like she used to just have like the normal generic wolf fluff, aka like mostly just the fur was pointed downward, you know, as wolf fur tends to do. But I just at some point I just remember I want to say it was around college time locking in and being like, you know, what if instead of having wolf fur that goes down, what if it went up? And then that the rest is history. Now we have the distinctive Nakara face we all know and love. Kind of crazy how stuff like that works out, you know? Like you try one different thing and you're like, this is going to be my personality for the rest of my life, or it's going to be my look for the rest of my life in this case. All because I'm like, I don't want Nakara to be generic wolf. I want her to be different. I'm not like those other wolves. I have muscles. Honestly, the goal one day would just to be like to have Nakara's physique. That would be my dream. I want to be strong like bitch who fight bear in the forest. Or like, I do not want to be strong like girl who is pretty. I want to be strong like bitch who fight bear in the forest. That's my dream. I want to be able to like choke somebody out with my bare hands. I want to have hands that look like this, claws included. You know, I want to rock up to the squad with this physique, like just absolutely shredded. It will never happen, but like, could you imagine the power? The power. Yes. That would be so absolutely radical. My version of femininity is to not be feminine. Like I'm always I remember like talking with my roomie who happens to be a trans man about this, and it's like because he's always found it funny that like I still I'm very secure in my my gender. Still use she her pronouns. I don't mind they them, but like she her is what I what I really prefer. And like I remember like talking about how like for a long time like growing up I was very insecure about my gender. Uh because of the fact that I was raised very masculine, like I happened to spend a lot of my time with my dad. What is there? There's like there's no son like your eldest daughter or something like that. There was some joke I heard about that. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so true. Yeah, I got raised very masculine because I was daddy's prettiest son. That's what it was. I think it's like yeah, there's nobody like daddy's prettiest son. Um, so like I end up inheriting like a lot of you know stereotypically masculine interests, mostly like video games and stuff and like nerd shit like Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings and whatever. Um, but of course and like same thing with the way I dress too. Maybe that's also just because of my body type, but the way I dress. So like I dress in a lot of like t-shirts and baggy pants and like you know like wife beaters. Fucking covered in well not covered in tattoos. I'm getting covered in tattoos. We're working on it. People working on it. Um, and like my roommate and I had talked about how like he always finds it so funny that like I have a lot of my characters and my even my appearance on the more masculine side of things, and that I didn't turn out to be a trans man, which is kind of strange, like, to think about it. Like, you would think like I would be the perfect candidate for being a trans man. I had like so much gender questioning, like am I really a girl? I don't know. But I feel like I've gotten pretty comfortable in being a lady. I like being a pretty lady who just happens to have a six pack and could punch your lights out. You know, like I said, I'm daddy's prettiest son, so I like that joke. It's my favorite. Oh, I was looking up knees. I was like, what am I doing right now? Why am I rambling? Knees. I'm looking up knees. Cause I suck at knees. I don't know why, but I suck at knees. Okay. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. uh, Thanks, Dad, for confusing me at a really young age. Nah, but I honestly, like, if I could do it over again, I would not trade my interests and stuff for the world. Just to be a girly girl. Like, I'm just not a feminine girl, you know? Happens to the best of us sometimes. I don't like that. Or maybe the reason I draw in a car like this is just because I like men. The way to simp over your character without actually simping over your character, just give them the body type of like the gender you prefer, and then boom. Which is kind of funny because, you know, I've said this a lot before, but like jacked men really aren't my type, you know. Like, if at least IRL, like if I were to date, well, I mean I am dating a man. But like if I were to pick like my dream male physique, it would definitely not be what Nakara is. I'm gonna stop doing. Which is hilarious considering the amount of men I draw with like this physique, honestly. Fuck, I went too far. Damn it. I was rambling too hard. I rambled too close to the sun. And that's not to say like I absolutely like hate this body type, as in, you know, I would never date a man like this. I don't hate like having somebody who has like a ripped physique, you know. But if I had a choice between like somebody with a ripped physique and like just a normal dude, it would be the normal every time. Every time. Why? I don't know. But don't get me wrong. I like a little ab is nice, you know. But like I don't want muscle bound, you know. I like a little tum tum. I like a little tum tum on them. Nothing wrong with a little belly, fellas. Ah, I think I see what. It's not clear. Push the shape of the leg. That's a little better. I like that better. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to give her foozy legs. Because honestly, like, I don't really draw her with like fuzzy legs. She basically just has, you know, wolf legs, but not fuzzy wolf legs, you know? Not like with the thigh floofies. Like, she has elbow floofies, and she obviously has a lot of neck floofies. But she doesn't really have thigh floofies. I think I'm gonna ignore the thigh floofies. And keep her how I usually draw her. Excuse me, sorry guys. Yeah. Nice. I like that knee. That knee actually turned out really well. Came out a lot better than I was hoping. That hurt. Doggo tendon. Alright, another knee. I need the side knee. I believe, based on what I'm seeing. So her knee is gonna pop out. Like so. Same thing based on the curvature of thigh there. Seeing. Let's get her toes. Add a little. Little something. So I always give her like very big toes too. Just something I do. That, but yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. All right, now comes to the hands, my favorite part. That'd be a little smaller, same size as. Okay, now the hard part here is that this is fine. Just I need to thin out the size and then realistically hands don't connect like into a perfect point. There's a webbing to so to speak. Sounds weird to say that like our hands have webbing, but it's true. It's very small webbing. It's like it's like basically non-existent, but it's technically still there. Some people do have like webbed fingers. Crazy, right? The power of nature. Damn, nature, you scary. Actually, draw her fingies, paw pads. Okay. Now I can draw her nails, talons, her claws. Got that one straight. That's better. It's honestly coming out really solid. All right, now we can erase this. And the last thing I need is her other hands and her tail. Actually, I guess, hold on. First, I'll make. Because, like, I also, like, when I draw her claws, too, like, I don't make them perfectly pointy because, like, realistically, dogs honestly have, like, super blunt toes. Claws. Like, comparatively to, say, like, a cat. A dog's nails are... So I like to try to reflect that in my, my werewolves. By giving them more rounded tips to their nails, their claws. I'm gonna use the two interchangeably. Sorry, not sorry. Because realistically, like, that is, you know, most likely what a real werewolf would have. I base a lot of my, at least what I try to do is base a lot of my stuff in realism. Or real-ish physiology. I say real-ish because, you know, there's no such thing as a real werewolf. Unfortunately. So I do my best based on what I know of human anatomy and what I know of dog anatomy to try to squish them together. And then go like, bam, look guys, it's a werewolf. That is semi-grounded in reality. I've seen like the science and stuff behind like people trying to explain the science behind like how if you were really a werewolf would probably be dead the first time you try to transform because of like the amount of energy it takes to realistically like transform your body parts like that. Same thing with like the immense physical pain you would go through just because of the fact that like you are quite literally growing and ungrowing your bones and like your muscles and everything. Like realistically speaking, if you were a werewolf, it would probably be extremely painful to transform. Like probably beyond the normal, at least what we would consider like humanly possible to withstand, you know. But thankfully, werewolves are not real in a way, so we can say, fuck your realism, I choose to become Dogman. Time to steal my ref sheet for my colors. Give me my colors. So funny, because my furry form actually has me looking more feminine. And then I have this. Whoa, hello. Why does it keep switching to luminosity? Stop that. Cease and desist. Anyway. Oh, wait, I knew there was something. Nah, it's fine. I think I like it better this way, honestly. Oh, wait. I don't like that, though. Okay, I think I like that better. I gotta get a chin color. Whoa, wrong layer. that takes care of the lines for her, her not her cream color. You know, I've talked about how Nakari is designed after a Minecraft skin, but I don't know if I've ever talked about like why I chose certain design elements for her, namely like the colors I chose and stuff like that. Cuz like the reason I chose the colors the way she is literally I just ripped them from the Minecraft skin. Like I basically saw that I like the fur color especially. I literally was just like, I just basically took the color of her sweatshirt at the time and turned that into her body color. Like dead ass. And that's just kind of how it stuck. The cream color is supposed to represent that she was a human. She is human. So like the cream color is basically supposed to be kind of like her skin color in a way. I don't know why I chose to go that route because like I mean she's a werewolf. We all know that werewolves are part human or you know have a human form, I should say. So it's not like you wouldn't know she can be a human, but I don't know. I was 12 when I designed her, so you know, only 12-year-old me knows the true reasons. The brown on the ends of her hands and her feet is also again stolen from her clothing. Because if you ever look at her human form, she has brown boots. And I was just like, well, obviously I must incorporate this into the werewolf design somehow. So I just gave her brown hands and boots. That's the reason why on her werewolf form, the brown goes up to like this portion right here is because that's her boots on her human form are like knee high. So I was just like, yeah, let's do that. That seems pretty reasonable. As for the hands, I don't know. I just gloves or something. Easy enough. Tail was just straight up from the wolf form. Like that didn't change at all. She already had that on her wolf form, or wolf tail as the Minecraft skin. Same with the ears. The ear color was already decided for me. I didn't have to do anything. What else was there? Oh, the little like marking on her forehead that I always forget to draw is a really old remnant of like some lore I had tried to make for her in the past. Cause the the old lore was that like when I first originally designed her, I did the thing every girl generically does, and I decided to make her like royalty or a princess or whatever. Yeah. Classic girly. So I wanted to like have a way besides, being a fucking rust orange werewolf, a rusty brown, whatever you want to call her color scheme. Besides the fact that she has abnormal colors compared to a real wolf, Awoo. Anyway, besides the fact that she has abnormal colors compared to a normal wolf, I wanted a way to showcase that she was different than the other wolves. Ooh. And that she was, of royal blood. So I decided to do a 2-part design as to why she has that weird little yellow bit between her eyes. It's kind of drifted between her eyes, but realistically, it's supposed to be on her forehead. Like it's like that's why I draw it right here. It's like between the eyes, but like kind of on the forehead. And part 1 of the design, this is gonna sound really fucking stupid, but it's literally part of it is supposed to be a W for werewolf. I know. Hold your gasps of, being like, wow, that girl right there, such a genius. I know. It's peak character design. So yeah. So the if you ever thought that the symbol on her forehead looks like a double W, you're not entirely wrong. It is reminiscent of a W for werewolf. The second part is because, you know, I was like, well, you know, what does royalty wear? Crowns, or in the case of a princess, a tiara. So, it is also, in fact, supposed to be reminiscent of a tiara. To, you know, let you really know that, like, guys, she's a royal werewolf. Can't you clearly see she's wearing a little crowny thing on her head? So yeah, princess werewolf is basically all it boils down to as to why she has that on her forehead, and I've just kept it. As for like the actual like design of like her cream colored underbelly too, because like as you can clearly see based on my Abby and the art we are doing right now, it stretches up to like the corner of her mouth, right? And I'm gonna be real, I don't remember the reason for this one, but my guess is knowing 12-year-old me, I wanted her to not, you know, not look like a normal wolf, because again, um, in my mind, from what I remember as like a 12-year-old, is that I was like, well, obviously, you know, werewolves in terms of fur color and fur placement, design, you know, pattern placement, pelt placement, are not inherently limited to like normal wolves, right? So like depending on things like their their hair color, their eye color and stuff, they could have different like patterns, different color placements and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what? I've never seen a wolf that has an underbelly that stretches up all the way to their face and connects to their mouth. I've seen it connect to like their nose and stuff like that. Because typically, like wolves, you know, if you ever look up a wolf, like what they, if you're looking at a realistic wolf anyway, like an actual wolf's pelt pattern, typically, is that their color will stretch up like here, like do a little eye thing, and then go to like the corner of their mouth, like so. Like that's more like a real wolf. But I didn't want that. I wanted to be different. Teehee weehee. So yeah, a lot of Nakara's design is just really old elements of previous lore I'd made for her, and I want to be different. I don't want to be like those other werewolves. Gotta show people that I'm a unique werewolf. Woo. So yeah, peak design from a 12-year-old, I gotta say. And also, kind of another thing that ties into it, because like I've noticed, like, compared to maybe this is, oh shit, I've been doing it on the wrong layer. Compared to like maybe like some other furry characters out there you may have seen. You know, she's very plain, right? And that's not to say that's a bad thing. Like she just straight up does not have a lot of like crazy markings on her. Like she has underbelly, the mouth, the little weird doohickey on her forehead, her little claw, her little you know, mittens and boots and whatever you want to call them. But like she doesn't have anything else besides those. Like she doesn't have any spots, she doesn't have stripes, she doesn't have, I don't know, spirals or, you know, item shapes like moons or suns or anything like that, you know, to add some more complexity. And part of the reasoning for that as well as to why I kept her design so simple when I really could have gone ham and just been like, I want to have like an angel demon wolf with like, I don't know, eldritch god powers or something, is that I wanted to be able to draw and animate her very easily, because at the time growing up, like, besides kind of wanting to be a veterinarian at the time, because yes, I did want to be a veterinarian. I didn't actually want to have a hobby in art or a career in art. Like, I still wanted to draw my character, but also, like, you know, drawing, and this is even still true for me in like the VTubing sphere, like drawing characters with a lot of detail can both be fun and frustrating, and even more so with animation, right? Because like think about it, you got to draw the same character over and over again, like 100 different times, all with like slight variations. So the other part of me keeping her simple is just that it's easier to animate. It's way easier to animate simple shapes and simple patterns than it is to animate like, well, like I don't know, Vivzy Pop characters. That's not to say, hey, Vivzy Pop characters, I like the designs. They're cool. I think they're cool personally. But God, I would hate to be animating them. So yeah. Easy animation. Because honestly, if I really wanted to, I could simplify this pattern even more. Because like the way I'm drawing her, like the ziggy zags on her wrists and her legs, there's no really set pattern to it. It's not like I'm specifically like she has 8 triangles around her legs, and one is facing like the top of her palm, or like one is facing onto her palm. No, you can draw these any way you want. I really don't care how you draw the ziggy zags, just as long as you have the ziggy zags. That's all that matters. The only things that are non-negotiable are like the facial flare here, whatever you want to call it, and her little doohickey, and just the general like placement of her patterns. But like, I'm not as nitpicky to be like, oh, the zigzags have to be in like a specific formation. That's not to say that's a bad thing either. Like, I totally get it, you know, especially if you have like certain meaning behind like shape, you know, pattern shapes or pattern placements. That totally makes sense that you'd want them to be you know, a specific way when an artist draws them. But for my character personally, this is my personal anecdote. I don't give a shit. So if you ever, you know, anybody out there ever decides they're like, man, Nakara looks cool, I want to draw her, go fucking nuts. Creative freedom, baby. That's how I dig it. Of course, there's only like a couple rules I have for Nakara in terms of like what you can and can't do with her. Typically, I say no gender bending, but I mean, honestly, most people don't even get the gender right anyway. Not the artist, I mean the people looking at her can't tell she's a girl anyway, so whatever. At least the werewolf form. The human form, I don't really want gender bent. I like my human form the way she is. And no drugs. Alcohol fine, no drugs. Go. We are nearing the end here, so I'm gonna finish like wrapping up the coloring on her, just getting the flats on. And then I will probably wrap it up there. Nose and her paw pads. Claws. A lot of her color scheme too is also like when I was designing it, I wanted to keep it in a similar color pattern because like I didn't really want the color to be too different. The only exception being her eyes, which I wanted to use as like the one pop of color to help draw you in when you look at art of her. So like the first thing you notice, hopefully the first thing you notice about her when you see her is her eyes. Since they're the only like cool color in her entire palette of warm colors. Since brown is technically a warm color. At least the shade of brown I'm using is on the orangey red spectrum. So it's more on the warmer side. Which I've probably said this a million times. I like browns, but like when I was originally drawing her, like how she's kind of basically known as an orange wolf, I don't really care for the color orange. I mean, orange is cool, but it's not my favorite color. It's actually green, which is why her eyes are green. The whole, well, besides the fact that the avatar itself, the Minecraft skin I got it from, her eyes are green, but also green is my favorite color. So that's why. I might make her eyelashes a little darker, I'll be real. Even funnier too, because now that I'm looking at the color of her eyelashes, technically the color I'm using for her eyelash color is on the cool spectrum, like her eyes. I mean, same with her nose too. Actually, her nose is on the cool spectrum, which is hilarious to think about. But I guess it helps to really emphasize like the color difference. Hope I can finish this in time for Halloween. I really like to have this stuff ready for Halloween, but I have just been so burnt out, guys. And I can't really explain why. Like I probably can explain why. It's probably because I've just been doing a lot of traveling, like way more so than normal these past few weeks. Or this year in general too. Like, I have had to go back to my home state no less than 3 times this year. And don't get me wrong, I love going home. I love seeing my family and my friends. But it is a very, very long trip. It's not something you want to be doing super frequently. That's where the problem lies, is that like one can only take like a 12, 13-hour drive so many times in a given year before they're just done. And they were all within like a pretty short time frame. Well, it feels short to me anyway. It's like the first time I went was unexpectedly. I had a month to prepare, no less. Because at least the other 2 trips, the one trip I always plan for every year, so that's not a problem. I knew that one was coming up. The second one, I went at the beginning of this month, the beginning of October, but I was aware of what was going on back in June. So that wasn't a problem because I still had like several months to prepare. But the first one was really unexpected because I had to like super duper quickly trade in my car because my old car was just I didn't think she was gonna make the drive, honestly. So I had less than a month to find a new car and get used to it before I had to drive 12 hours with it. So that was tiring. And then just like I had the 2 pop-ups in total of just unexpectedly being like, "Hey, we need you to come back." Like once was two of them, funnily enough, were actually for weddings, which was like, it was super fun. I had a good time. But just, oh man, I do not want to be doing that again next year. But yeah, ta-da! I think we've nailed it. I think this is perfect for tonight. So yeah, and it's just past 10 now, which is perfect for me because I am feeling icky and I would like to go rest up. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the ramblings of a mad woman as I drew, because that's just what I do. That being said, let me think. So we got, what was it? Today is Wednesday. Or no, today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm gonna be real, Chiefs. I don't have a plan for this whole week. I'm debating if I want to do any sort of like Halloween stream, like actually on Halloween. Mostly the problem being is that if I were to do it, I'd want to do it late into the night. However, I have to be up for an early shift November 1st or Saturday morning. So getting to like do a Halloween stream might be difficult. Not to mention I don't, like, again, I don't have a plan. I don't really know what I would be doing for a said Halloween stream. So I might just end up doing like try to do something fun for Thursday evening as like a Hallows Eve kind of thing. The eve of Halloween. As as for what that would be, I don't know. I have a couple games because like I haven't played Dead by Daylight yet, so probably tomorrow I'm thinking we'll be Dead by Daylight just because it's a classic. You can't not play the classics. But if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to like pop in my Discord and let me know what you would think, or post them on my Twitter or my Blue Skies. They should be in my socials down below. Because I'm always looking for y'all's input. I always love to hear what you guys think would be best for the channel. But with all my ramblings out of the way here, I'm gonna go send you guys to my friend, the Exterminator. He is currently playing some Silent Hill right now. So gotta keep in the Halloween vibe. Let's go watch some spooky gameplay. And yeah, keep an eye out on my socials for what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. I think Dead by Daylight and Thursday is still to be determined. So, keep an eye out since everything is always, subject to change. And I will catch you tomorrow for some game time. Alrighty, bye bye.